All right, guys. Welcome one, welcome all. Let me switch my camera real quick for you guys so you guys can see my bright, shiny face. Let's see. Bam! Welcome, everybody, to the Jerkmonger Show. This is the Jerkmonger live from my studio here in Tampa, Florida. I'm working on some concept art for a story idea I want to do. So I'm kind of working on some of the details in there. So I'm kind of working within my little cave structure here in my studio. I'm going to go ahead and move that around. Anyway, most important thing to note is that this is kind of secret, kind of not, kind of yes, a little weird. But the idea is that I want to come up with this concept. It's inspired by some of the different ideas. What's up, Heck? How you doing, man? Blah, 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 bro. I can't, man. I can't raise my camera any further. Got my lamp in the way. It's all kinds of craziness. Bam. Anyway, I guess I'll drop a little bit. Anyway, so John Piner, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, I'm working on some stuff. I'm trying to get some things done, and I'm hoping that as we move along, I'll be able to kind of share more with you guys as I conceptualize more of the story. Um, I'm almost in a weird spot where I'm kind of scrapping one of the early versions of the idea, not because it wasn't good, but because maybe it was too close to something else I'm working on. So I'm kind of just wanting to do some of this stuff. Aquaman looks like he's about to punch you in your ear. Never mind, you sat down. Aquaman. That's Wolverine, man. That's Wolverine. My black and red was really great. Loves it, Elliot. Thank you, John. I appreciate that, man. I hope you guys, those of you who are receiving your books, it'll be awesome. I'll be working this week on the commissions to knock those out for everyone. I'm really excited about that. So I'm only going to be on here for about an hour or so, just to continue drawing my concepts and try to get that rolling, and then hopefully you'll have a lot more to see. And so this is an idea that I've been kind of cranking on. It is kind of inspired. Some of you guys nailed it. It's a little bit of of battle chasers, but it's really more about. I'm a really big fan of the Diablo game series. That was kind of my. Yusef says, "Looking good. Hey, what's up, Yusef? How you doing? Hey." Um, but I'm a big fan of the Diablo series, and I've of all the games that I've played, aside from Tomb Raider, that's probably my favorite game series. And I just like seeing, I love the idea of the gothic horror slash fantasy slash Lovecraft slash uh, demonology. I just love that kind of stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of infuse that in this story. So I decided to simplify it a little bit because I want it to be more of like a little nuanced tale that will be something cool for most viewers, most readers. Nothing too crazy. I want to just not. It's not going to be necessarily all ages, but it's not going to be too mature or adult either. I want it to be in between somewhere. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera around so that you guys can start to enjoy the process of how I come up with these characters, and I'll talk a little bit about how I do that in a moment. So right now I'm showing you my screen. This is my desktop. Unfortunately, I have a newer setup on my drawing table, so there's gonna be a lot of bouncing. I need to come up with a better system, so I apologize up front for all that. Hi, Cosmetti, how are you? Wolverine looked like he was about to punch you in the ear, and you said, "Nah, I fixed it," and delayed it to make uncomfortably awkward. Indeed, indeed. So let me just adjust my controls here. Make sure I'm getting the right kind of. I'm getting the right kind of deal here. Make sure it's as tight as possible. Okay. All right. So coming up with Tomb, how you doing, man? These are some of the characters. I have a dark elf now in my story. This is my wizard. This is my hero, the warrior knight. Slash barbarian. I'm just gonna put Barb. Not to be confused with Barbara because it has nothing to do with the Barbara. But this is my guy. It's going to be a small story about 5 books, look long or a freaking novella. No, it's gonna. I'm thinking. I'm thinking that it's gonna be a. I'm only gonna produce graphic novels if they are successful in the campaign for on Indiegogo. So, yo, what's up, man? Mutt man, what's up? What's that? What's that? Um, but it's just that I don't want to make something too big, and there's definitely a possibility that this can go really weird fast because some of another story I'm working on has some of the same type of elements, but it's different enough. So yeah, so I'm definitely cranking. So this was some early versions of the character. As you can see, um, this drawing up here was definitely a lot more. Uh, he had a lot more of like a I don't know how to say it, but he just looked more like comic styled, maybe too much. I like the idea of making things look a little more graphic. I might have to adjust my light guys a bit, my white, my brightness. So hopefully you guys will still see stuff. Um, and this guy came out, and if you guys remember, I was working on a story called Jerkmonger. This thing I was doing, and thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Good morning, Sketch. How you doing, man? So yeah, man. So right here, I just kind of have this kind of concept where these are my warrior guys. I added him later. He's kind of in the story. Kind of want him to the thief. I needed a thief to round out my party. But I don't know if I'm going to go with a party after all. So I was going to do this whole D&D team thing, but I decided that I want to kind of shift it down to just this guy. He's my hero, uh, and I'm going to continue to work on some interpretations. He is going to be cool. He's going to have this neat fist thing. That's going to have this hand. Again, I'm just going on some mechanical elements. Obviously, he's got knuckles there. I don't want to go. What I don't want to do is create stuff that's going to be so. I don't want to create stuff that's so challenging to duplicate that I can't do it again and again. So that's a big concern of mine. I want to make sure that it's achievable. That's a big deal. A lot of times people will tend to try to produce something that they can't execute. So yeah, if you guys like what you see so far, just hit that like button. I see some of the numbers dropping a little bit from where it just kind of peaked. If you liked it at all, hit like before you leave. And if you don't like it, no worries. I'll be okay. I'm gonna be all right. So yeah, man, I'm just kind of want to create something cool here. I want to do something here on this guy's mechanical hand. He's got a mechanical hand. He lost his hand at some point, and I'll reveal more of that in the adventure. But this is kind of who I think he is, and he's got like Autobot hands, but it's powered by this this crystal. This is it's a magic mechanical hand, so it's a little bit of steampunk, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Believe it or not, I was just thinking about you and your art going fantasy. Ooh, heck, is that a prophecy? I think it is. Just mess with you. Well, I'm not really. I'm really excited, guys. I've been kind of taking my family in a different direction with how we spend some of our time together, and trying to recover some of my spiritual roots and my Christian faith, and I'm really stoked about it. Really stoked. So that's another great new thing that's happening in the Fernandez household. Very pumped up about that. Dollar store profit. Word. That's funny. So let's see here. This might have these hinges. I want to do these hinges here, and I guess it needs another digit, but not necessarily. This might be too complicated too. I might have to reduce this down to like two digits. Like he's got like a nightcrawler hand or something. So let's try that. Let's draw a fist with it here. I'm just drawing. the hand. I'm not drawing it to the hand to the head at all. I'm just drawing the hand. This is just sketches. These are all just loose sketches. They don't necessarily have anything to do with each other. They're just kind of roaming around in my head here. What's on your schedule for today? I have a project I got to work on, Nolan. Working on something I got to wrap up that I meant to have done by on Friday, but I missed my deadline there, and I just need to get on it. Doggone it! And I'll be in the house in my office for a while. So you guys are welcome to. Well, you're welcome to call me later if you like. I'm making my. Oh, I'm not thinking right. I'm making invitations for you guys to call me here at the house. That's not gonna work. Hey, well, let me just dox myself. You got my phone number and call me anytime. How about that, guys? You says, wait, are you doing graphic novels? I'm working on something. I have an idea that I like, and so it's kind of it's not terribly original, um, but I'm not worried about that. I just want it to be fun. I like sometimes. I've come to the realization as I've gotten older that one of the things that I need to do and I need to always remind myself is that I'm not Shakespeare. And when you're not Shakespeare, you just got to come up with something you enjoy. And doing something you enjoy might include, um, something that doesn't seem terribly intellectual, but hey, man, sometimes it's just that's what I like. I went to see Halloween this past week and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. And yeah, we can pick anything apart, but at the end of the day, did you like it? Did you have fun? And I think sometimes when it comes to this type of stuff, everyone's waiting for the next. Like I'm not. And as comics go, I'm not Chris Claremont either. So if you're expecting something like that from me, there are other guys who are doing stuff that's way more ambitious. I'm not your guy for that. If you like fun stuff, fun, is the operative word. What about say 8-ish? I'll let you know, man. I got to see. I don't know about. I don't think I have anything around that time. I do a thing around 8:30 with my kids. That's the only thing. So I'm feeling that dark elf. Well, I have to go back to work. Says heck, be blessed and sketch. Right on, man. You got it. Uh, just saw it last night. It was good. Right on, John. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. And sometimes we get kind of like, oh, it's not this, and I don't know. I like one of the guys I enjoy a lot. I enjoy reviewers who review things in a cool way. Like they say things like, it's for me. This is like this, but you might like it. I enjoy. I appreciate that. That's honest to me because not everyone's gonna like what you like or not like what you don't like. So keeping that kind of open um, concept there is good, is healthy. I'm not saying it has to be like that, just saying it's healthy. So, and so for me, having something that's fun fits the bill. So it's okay. I'm off. uh, I'm out of the office at 6. We can stream or whatever if you're up to it. I'll let you know for sure, brother. I'll let you know for sure. Maybe afterward, we can do it after the 8-ish time. Probably more. So I like this fist here, this mechanical fist. Maybe I'm going to transform on it. I'm thinking of Optimus Prime's fingers. You know how they have like this little like planks. I like that idea a lot, but maybe I need to do more of a something a little more medieval, which is probably better for this story. Maybe it's more like maybe it's got like a thing here. Maybe we hide some of those construction things. Benjamin Hopwood, how you doing? Would you do an art book with pages like the one you're drawing? I love pages of random character poses. I think that is part of my plan. Uh, I want to do something. So I've been asked a lot about what's my next thing, and I don't want to keep as much as people enjoy my superhero stuff. That'll always be part of my thing, but I want to do my own stuff, and so yeah, that's kind of what I want to do is like a book of my own drawings. I have a bunch of sketches all over the place in my office. And so I'm trying to make some time to scan all those drawings and then eventually do an art book of just my random concepts. The problem is so many of those concepts could be ideas that I would use in any other project. So I gotta be careful I don't give everything away. Sketches. I don't understand this type of drawing. Is this what they call a study, like an exercise? I like it, but I don't understand it. I have no art training. Yeah, it's a study. I mean, I'm just drawing all over the place, just conceptualizing. This is just me getting an idea sketch. I'm just trying to figure some things out and you know give myself practicing. Is this what I want to do? Is this what I want to do? Maybe this is more of what I want to do. It's just more of just getting a feel for what I'm trying to get done. This is where I talk a lot about. You'll hear me say things like you should do some studies or try do some loose sketching first. And then frankly, I should have called this morning warm-ups because I just came back. So I bought this book from Barnes and Noble, and it's an Imagine Effects book, and I had to go back to Barnes. That's why I'm late this morning doing my video, because I meant to do it earlier when I got back in from dropping the kids off. But I ended up having trouble because I bought the book I bought, I already owned. I hate that. And it's this magazine that I buy called Imagine Effects. It's from England. And I love the book. I love the content. It's this thing called Sketch something, Sketchbooks, I think it's called. And it's great. The problem is that it comes out so infrequently that I can't remember if I have the book or not. So there you go. So here's the fist as something more traditional, more of a regular fist. And maybe this is where I'll stick with it. I'm going to create. So I have here, this is the hand that I'm just trying to figure out, what does this hand look like for this character. So I'm working with a writing partner on this project. And it's been a little challenging because he's a good, really, he's one of my best friends in the whole world. But we have a little bit different style of approaching story, and it's mainly because I'm trying to be a little more disciplined with the way I tell stories. And Kenny says, "I love Imagine Effects." Right on. Uh, Sketchers, I think it looks cool. But I'll try to train myself, warm up. I like it. Yeah, yeah. It's just you just drawing all over the place, man. Not being too concerned with, like, is it perfect? Is it the way it has to be yet? It doesn't have to be. It could just be what it is. Um, I don't know who Raven is that we're hailing. I don't hail many people, so Godspeed. EA says, "Hi, Elliot. Your art style reminds me of Howard Porter crossed with Joe Mad." Howard Porter? Yeah, I, I guess so. That's interesting. I wouldn't say that, but hey, man, you know what? If you see Howard's work, he's not a bad artist. I like his newer stuff better than his older stuff. I always hated his stuff on Flash, but his recent stuff I've seen him do is pretty nice. So I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. Anyway, so I like this hand. I mean, this is kind of cool. I'm just trying to decide, this looks kind of mechanical. I like the idea that this guy has a mechanical hand. Yeah, the book that I bought, man, let me show you what it looks like. So I have this book already. Um, I have a couple of these. I'll show you what I have. And I'll suggest them to you too if you think that you'd be interested in something like this. This is a good opportunity for you guys to kind of, you know, this might be a little book review-ish thing. But I've been buying these for a while. They're a little pricey, and by pricey, this first one I bought here was $26. It's basically a magazine. It's a big, thick magazine. So they call them, I don't know what they call them. They call them something books. It's a different name for them. They're trying to create um, a new like bookazine. See, that's weird to me. This one was $30, and this latest one is also $30. So, but it does sport 180 pages of studying sketches, and that's true. But I will warn you guys that some of these books, they say 180 pages, but sometimes they have the same art in multiple volumes. So this is volume 3. This would be volume 4, or it might be volume 2, I think. I'm not sure. This is 130, 18. This doesn't say what year it came out. And then this is supposed to be displayed until 5/23/18. But I just saw the same. This is what messed me up, is I saw this book and it said, don't display until something 19. I was like, oh, so it must be the new one. Wah, wah, not so much. So I'm just going to show you this one. I'm just going to go over it a little bit. Let's see. Since I just messaged you on Twitter, I linked to a pic of He-Man character. Looks pretty close to your guy. Oh, right on. That's cool. I guess they're talking about Teen Titans Raven. I can't watch that show because I'm not paying for another show. I don't even care about that show. Anyway, so what's cool about this is it opens up and you get to see this is the table of contents and you can see some of the artists that are included in this volume. And like I said, some of these artists emerge in multiple volumes, but it's okay. I think it's I forget who it is that I'm like, I'm tired of seeing that guy's art. But you know what? This is what's cool about this one. This one has How to Train Your Dragon 2 art, which is awesome. So if you didn't buy the art book, this is excellent. Cosmetic says you're not missing anything. Okay. Um, Benjamin says, literally, I just got my black and red 2 seconds ago. Hellboy print, amazing. Ghost Rider on back cover, my favorite. Great job. Hail Thanos, the only Titan that matters. Thank you, Tim, for the extra thing. So yeah, basically, it's a sketchbook. Because what it claims to be sketchbooks, and it just shows a bunch of sketch art. I would love to be included in this. That's why I want to do more of my own stuff. I don't want to keep drawing Batman. And, I mean, I'll do it for money because I'm a businessman. But this is what turns me on the most. This is what gets me the most pumped up, the most excited is when I see other people's imagination being explored. So, yeah, I mean, doesn't mean that anything is wholly original. I mean, for the most part, these are fantasy characters, for example. Um, Here's some other art. Randy Bishop is the artist in this page. Paul Bonner, you guys probably recognize Paul Bonner. Here's some dwarves. I love this stuff. Bonner's great. And this Charlie Bowater, really excellent, really excellent. And some of it's digital. Some of it's digital. Joshua Hughes says, well, we hail Raven from Teen Titans. She's better than Starfire, and the cult of Raven knows this truth. Our Pope is Pope Raven. Our enemy is the Church of Starfire. We are in a war. Oh gosh, you guys are you're killing me. Anyway, yeah, so sir, yeah, so this is actually cool. So if you want, 30 bucks gets you into this magazine. Again, it's called a bookazine. You know, believe that is if you want to. But there you go. So, so I'm attempting here to come up with a solution to this idea that I had. I like this idea. This is okay. This one looks like a weird Ninja Turtle, so we're going to say no to that one. But I'm starting to like this one, and I wanted to do something a little more weird, so that he would appear odd. But um, you know, I think I like this though. It's more, it's not hard to see. So I just don't want it to look like a glove, you know. Um, so anyway, yeah, sketch. I get that. That's normal these days. I hear people talk like that about that stuff. I'm just wondering why Raven. All right, so there you go there. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of gut. I guess if it was a movie, there'd be something. So I'm gonna put a little. I'm gonna put something in here. I'm gonna try not to shake my camera too much. It's gonna be some sort of crystal that's in this little chamber here. Right? So this crystal is going to be the what powers what makes this glove work. How it's just sitting on his stump, but it somehow works, right? Uh, Kuzmeti, yes, I did get those in, but they come out infrequently. So there is one out right now, so you may want to get that one. The last one I just showed you. Um, Take it easy, Yusef. Benjamin Hopkins says, or Tim says, I can't share about this. LOL. I own that Ghost Rider on the back cover, the original. You sure do, brother. You show do. So then I'm gonna give him like an action figure wrist, like one of those wrists that have like that swivels in place. So this probably wouldn't be the way it looked all the time. It'd probably be more on the other side. I should have drawn it like that. Let's try that again. Let's so like I said, you guys are kind of just watching me conceptualize what I will be utilizing in my stuff. I can't do this forever because I want to keep some stuff secret. so that when the book does come out, you guys will have something to enjoy. But this is not a bad thing. This is almost like seeing the art of before the movie comes out, right? 3D Robin says, it looks like these characters some sort of Conanish comic. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. All right, so all right, so this guy was the early version of this guy, and I turned him into a blind dude. This wizard is blind, so I have a thing with blind guys. I like blind. It's something about not that I like blindness, but I have this appreciation for what blindness can be. So I have the story planned out. I kind of do. So like I said, I had an original story, and then I changed it because I thought it was getting too deep and too much like something else that I'm working on with someone else. So I wanted to keep those things a little more separate. Sketch says I have black and red. I love the quality of the paper and print. The art is exquisite, but I knew that before I bought it. Right on, Sketch, man. I appreciate that, brother. See, look, boom, fist pump, boom. So I like this a lot. This goes to him. This guy is just a. This guy is just a. This was going to be an important character in the first story idea that I had, but I'm changing it around. And it says, have you ever seen Kagan McLeod's Infinite Kung Fu, old school Shaw Brothers in the comic? Your style of these sketches is similar. No, I have not. I should look that up. Let me write that down here. Kagan McLeod from the Clan McLeod. This would be McLeod. Infinite Kung Fu. I wonder if that was. That might be the thing. I might have seen that actually. Infinite Kung Fu. I don't know if you guys know this, but I studied Kung Fu for a minute, like barely a full 2 minutes. All right, so this guy here, this is my thief. This is my thief. So he's gonna have this little glove thing. And here. Okay, so this is my swashbuckling pirate. She's gonna be awesome. She's gonna have some other stuff too. Sifu Fernandez. Ha 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 ha. I wish I was Sifu. Just I don't know. I haven't studied enough to be a C or a fool. I am a fool, but not a fool. The main guy looks like he could be in Asgard. Well, I mean, why? Because he's a dude. I don't know, John. I always crack up when I hear things like that because it's like there's so much derivative stuff out there. It just seems funny how everybody always associates it. I don't know enough about Asgard too. But if you know the game Diablo, he kind of is based on the barbarian from Diablo, but not really the character in the game. He's just I like the look of that guy. Look good on the poster. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little. There's a character he's going to convert into this werebeast, and I want to figure out what he is. I was watching a movie last night on Netflix. I was watching that old movie Doom, and I liked that movie. I know it didn't get a lot of great reviews. Most people didn't like it, but in retrospect, it's been a while since I've seen it. I actually enjoyed it. It got stupid in the whole video game simulation thing, but then they came out with this movie called is it Hardcore something Henry or something like that. And I'm thinking that's the same nonsense that was in Doom. Same difference. Your Sifu on paper and your pencil and inks kung fu is strong. What? That's word up. I appreciate that. He does look like Diablo too. Yeah, there you go. I have that same affinity for blind characters, particularly the blind swordsman type, the Johnny Depp character in Desperado sequel, Kenshi from Mortal Kombat, and of course Daredevil and Stick. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. Hardcore Henry, that's what it was. Hardcore Hank, Hardcore Henry, Hardcore. So this guy I'm not sure who he is yet. I'm not sure what he looks like yet. I want him to be more like a werewolf, but I don't know if I like that so far. I'm not sure I care about this part here. His head might be too big. And I come over here instead. Sorry for the darkness on everything. It's just like you won't see the line art if I don't have the camera setting changing from bright to dark. So it has a bit of a dark color in there. Yeah, if you guys are having fun with this, go ahead and hit the like, man. Hit like and comment down below. Um, I'm not sure. If you don't like it, you know what, you're welcome to hit the negative, but it's a free country. At least on my channel it is. But if you do, it would hurt. It would probably hurt my statistics. So maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe shut up, Elliot. That's funny. Let's see. All right, so I don't know if this is it. I don't want this shape. I want him to be like I think I want him to be more like this kind of shape. Something more like that. So he's got maybe this is shoulders and this could be his head. Since this little guy here turns into this big guy. Well, thank you, Cosmetti. I appreciate that. Uh, what that's true to. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I haven't seen Daredevil 3, so I don't know. Yeah, see, I like this idea of like a werebear, werebeast. I want to have big hands. Let's see, maybe I want it to be muscular. I want it to be like a big beast, dude. Super beast. Roll, roll. What time is it? 12:13. I got a boogie soon, guys. I have a very strict schedule to keep with today's art. Yeah, see, I kind of like this look. I do. I'm not sure this is the look, but I kind of like it. So I got to explore a couple more options. This is another thing I do. Some of you guys, it's not something I always do. I tend to go too fast into details. This is kind of how I prefer to work out some ideas first. And I'm relearning the value because I've learned this before. This is not new. This is like art 101. Yeah, it's too large there. I'm relearning the value of taking your time and planning. That's such an important element of art that we just don't do enough of. Um, it's something that we should all do, and it helps our respective artwork in so many ways. Um, it's just planning properly to do. It looks like he wants to cuddle. Yeah, right. Um, and I want to do more of this at earlier stages so that I'm not trying to, and that's one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of comic art for myself, because I don't want to plan something along the way, and that's how I would normally handle most projects in the past. So it's important that when you're kicking it off, that you're thinking about these things first, then you can commit. Even in doing an illustration, I hate to waste time on doing a full illustration of something I'm not going to use. That's a pain. That's a big pain. Yeah, so this guy's cool. I like the idea of a werebeast. He's I like this. Gonna have a little. I like the even this. I was just hinting at eyes, and it looks like little slits. I like that because the character that he comes from has these slits. So I'm gonna enhance his form a little bit there by yeah. See, I like this. Pretty cool. Yeah. So we've got 24 people watching now, 23. I only have 14 likes. I wonder how that works. How do I get you guys to like what I'm doing? That's interesting, right? Are you afraid to like something I'm doing? It's okay if you like it. If you don't like it, it's okay as well, I guess. No pressure. Just wondering. I like trying to figure out social media and what are the habits of everybody. It's always been help kind of fun for me. Um, let's cuddle rib. Ah. Your art always reminds me of cool tattoos and stickers. Ha 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 ha. Singing my love song. Sketches singing my love song. Yeah, there we go. I think this guy has a tail too. So make sure I do it so it isn't like he's shitting himself. Excuse my French. Maybe don't do it like that exactly. Although the tail would kind of do that, right? So he might be one of these guys that maybe one of these guys that and like I said, guys, this is gonna be a story that I think that's gonna be just pure fun. Not meant to be the next, Kubrick film. Um, it's just gonna be a lot of fun, action, excitement. That's how I want it to be. Yeah, so you can kind of see where it's kind of headed here now. And he's got tiger stripes on him. And they look a little like Wolverine, I guess, but that's not a bad thing, I think. He's gonna have it on his shoulders too. Yeah. All right. It's like voting on drawing quarter, 400 people watching, 120 votes. Yeah, true. So I have to head off, 3:16 a.m. LOL later. All right, be cool, man. Be good. Sketch says some people don't know if they like the video till it's over, but many, like me, just forget my suggestions. Is remind as the as at the beginning, and end of the video. The end is the most important. Yeah, sure. I didn't realize that you had drawn the Thorio's t-shirt. I have that tee. Love it. Oh, right on, Ben. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my friend Crystal from a while back, man. We did all of them. We did the Thorios. We did all. There's some other ones out there that were not ours, but people assumed they were ours. We didn't do the Deadpool one, but we did um, the Loki Charms, Thorios. We did Gamma Smacks, Iron Brand. We did um, who else did we do there? We did Nick something with Nick Fury. Fury Flakes, I think is what it was. So yeah, so this guy's gonna have like, wow, it's gonna have like a this that crazy thing. Yeah, I've been on about I think I came on around 11:30 ish or so. Actually, this will tell me where I've been on for 38 minutes. Is that right? Is that right? 40 minutes? That sounds good though. That's all it needs to be. I don't want to be in here too long. And again, revealed so much. As you guys can see, there's a bunch of neat things. So this kind of might be the guy. I'm not sure. Maybe that's him. I like him. I like him. So maybe he looks a little bit like that werewolf I did recently. But I like the idea of him having it's supposed to be a tiger squirrel, isn't it? It's what the thing is. So if I do a hulking beast, Maybe it doesn't even have a snout. Maybe this is all black. Ooh, that'd be cool. Maybe this is just all dark. I don't forget what character looked like that. This was the character that had that similar vibe. Did I do the Usagi Yojimbo one? No, I saw that. We didn't do that one, Ben, but it looked pretty cool. I just saw it. I think I saw it at New York Comic Con. We haven't done them in years. That was an old project. It was cool. The Iron Brand one, I think went viral. Loki Charms went viral too. I remember that. My phone just brightened up for a second. Not sure why. I like this idea a lot that this beast thing doesn't have a face. It kind of reminds me of Ukla the Mock from Dundar, which is also something I had. Let's see this a little bit. I love that he's almost like a slasher. Like he's almost like a Michael Myers slasher monster. Does that make sense? What I mean by that is that he's a that's what to do. Push his ears back. I'm not sure about this Venom smile though. I don't like that too much. I don't know. I like it. I like it. I want him to be. Here's the thing. I want his head to be a little more flat at the top. So this might be better. Actually, that's a lot better. Those fangs are gnarly. Hey, Michael, what brand of blue pencil is that? This is I'm using a Sumo Grip pencil, as you can see, zero point 0.7 lead. I bought some erasable lead online, I think. It's kind of, I don't know if this is even the erasable one. I think this might be something else. Oh, I know who this kind of reminds. This resembles, I think I know where I'm getting this concept from for this look, but I want to keep it to myself. Just let it be what it is. Yeah, I like that. If I make him like a woolly monster, that'd be cool. That's kind of cool. I like that look. I like that look. Yeah, I want him to be like he's supposed to be like this. Almost looks like he's just very passive, but I think I gotta come up. I drawn him before, and I don't like this drawing. It looks like an old curmudgeon. But oh, he's supposed to look cute. Something more like that, and then becomes this like hissing hell beast. but he's their heavy guy. So that's kind of what I want to do. You've changed the way I draw, Elliot. I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong, and then the other day I saw you draw a head, but you didn't start with the circle and an egg shape. You draw this weird bean shape that gives more dynamic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do that all the time. Um, yeah, yes, sir. I think if anything, that tiger stripe's gonna come down the front. See, I like this idea of him being blacked out this far. So maybe this is all part of the look. Like even the teeth are black. How cool would that be? How hellish. Yeah, wow. What if he's got like fire coming out of his mouth? I don't know, that might be too much. I do love beans, as a matter of fact. No, thank you very much. Bean heads. He calls them a magical fruit. I'm having Boricua first world problems. I've got coffee, but no queso de papa. No! You know, you gotta fix that. How you like this? That's kind of cool, huh? That's a cool look. Mhm. Face off right there. Like that. I'm gonna go ahead and black some of this out too. Thanks, John. I appreciate that, man. The more he's, the more he. Yeah, man. I think this is gonna be a good character. I'm gonna give him. I'm not gonna cut his. I'm not gonna cut into his cheeks. I think I'm gonna let him kind of drift into his fur a little bit. Do you guys like seeing this early stages of the concept? Am I giving away too much already? I think it's kind of cool to share some of this. Maybe it isn't a good idea, but give them a hunch. I'm doing this weird erasing because I don't want to shake the camera too much. It drives me crazy. Just seeing it. Ben says love it. Well, I tell you, the idea here is that I get you guys to buy into the concept sooner than later. That way, you guys are seeing it come alive in one way, but gives me a little, after I've designed some of these characters, I want to come back and this will be what I'll use for the campaign. I'll scan these images in and go from there. Because it's a very good idea because I like it. James says, love watching concepting. Wish people did it more. Yeah, me too. Me too. And I think that's how I want to do more. I want to do more of my future art books. I want them to be concept books, my ideas realized. And so I gotta get these things done. So this guy's arm is gonna be he's a Hulk, man. I want him to be a Hulk. He's got the triceps to prove it. But you're not going to see all this. I just need to figure out his structure, and then I'll come back and cover it all up. Um, but what I want to do is I want him to have one of those elbows that come out like a dog. He's a tiger squirrel, so this is his tiger squirrel form, his true tiger squirrel form. But he evolves into this. See, other people, I don't know, not other people, but a lot of people would have used this as the character they would do. I like that he's part of the story. Okay, unfortunately, I have to raise this up a bit. So I don't know if this is how I want it to be, but I like this. I like this. I'm not sure about all this yet. I still feel I like this as the overall. Maybe I like that his hands might be a little smaller. I mean, he could have those like, yeah, he could have more of the those things, but blacking out his face looks mean. Right on, right on. And you would know Kodiak because, well, your name is Kodiak. Sketch says, "How do you find leftovers in a Boricua fridge? That the rice is in the big what? Bone the chicken is in the small country." My wife uses a lot of Tupperware. She's big in Tupperware. Kodak says, "No, no, cause it's just concept art. Remember how Marvel used to produce a monthly newsletter comic thing that would show concept art for an upcoming thing to get people excited." Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. I like that. Sometimes the art, the limb is not perfect either. So this right here, though, I do want this to be a little bit more full. I want him to feel. I almost want him to be cute. Like, what would this guy look like as a pop? That kind of thing. 3D says, if it's all sketching, it gets a bit much. Mitch is a great bloke, but it's all sketches. I'd back Red Rooster if I saw finished pages. I'm in the minority though, for sure, obviously. Well, yeah, sure, but I don't have the time to make. I'm not going to produce a. He got his campaign funded, and so therefore he can do that. But I'm actually working on the story here, and he doesn't have to be. Yeah, if you don't like it, it's okay. I can only do what I can do. I'm not. I can't please everyone. Can't please everyone. But I'm glad you said that though. 'Cause, I mean, that was I asked how do you like it, and you said so. So that's good. Thanks for responding. I appreciate that. That's how Mitch hooked me. I'm hyped for Red Rooster. Right on. My mom said sketch. And grandma recycle all the butter bowls. I think Puerto Rican love country crock. Yeah, I know, right? My mom used to do that too. So maybe this. Now, also, his sketching is just warm up sketches for just general drawing. Isn't I've seen some of his videos. They're mostly it seems like he's just filling up a book. Um, I like the sketching. I'm just saying, if it's months and months of sketching is too much for you. No, well, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not offended, man. That's cool. I think that's awesome. That you made a good point. I mean, it would be, except I am a process junkie, though. I got to be honest with you. For me, the sketching part is my favorite part. Now, the thing with some artists is I don't care for their sketch style so much, so I don't really pay a lot of attention to it. Kind of like this claw thing here. And if this was all blacked out, that'd be pretty cool too. Oh, I like that. It's gonna be fun as drawing the transformation sequence. But this is you can call this early development for the concept. So, because to be honest, that's funny in 3D. My least favorite part is the the pages actually. I find this way more interesting. As an artist, this is my favorite stage. Who is the girl on the other page? Is she a character? She looks mischievous, which I like. Well, cosmetic. Yes, yes, she is. She's gonna be awesome. She's gonna be awesome. I'm excited about her. Uh, let's see. Dun, dun, dun. It's funny. I was listening to my man Antonio Bryce and watching his video on the discussion of the individual who was frustrated because he wasn't getting as much love. Can I tell you guys something? Speaking of the finished page, there's gotta man, a lot of people they gotta work on their stuff, man. And I'm not the best at it either, but I gotta be honest with you. I saw some stuff the other day, man. I, there's a lot of not so tight stuff out there that everybody wants their stuff to look, to be presented and say, oh, this is the next new thing. And there's a reason why I don't want to. I'm not happy with some of what's going on at Marvel DC sometimes, but I got to say though that there's a reason why they're at the top, even despite the current circumstances. I think that your artwork needs to be of a certain caliber. And I was listening to the discussion from Antonio concerning the gentleman from Mortal Worlds, and I'm gonna go out and say that I actually thought that his art style was interesting. I just don't think it's ready for prime time. And so, Godspeed to you guys. I hope that you guys get a successful campaign, rallied by the end of it. But I got to be honest, it's not there yet. Um, but I know someone can say, "Oh, well, show me your book." Well, I can't because well, I can, I guess, because I have done books before. But but it's not about you can't always say, oh, look, there's a lot of people who have worked for Marvel and DC who aren't that great either. So that is not a really helpful argument, as it were. I think what you were saying is we got to make sure that our stuff looks good, and when you're putting your stuff out, that it's your best foot forward type stuff. And I just saw that, and I'm like, well, it's okay. It's just not there. It needs to be tightened up, and that could be the reason why he's having a hard time. A lot of times, there are certain rules in comics that need to be adhered to, not because I'm a weird rule guy, but because those rules exist because they're useful. And I think a lot of people try to ignore these rules, um, and they want to be acknowledged as, oh, look, I've drawn something, therefore. It's like, yeah, if you sold a piece of artwork, you can call yourself a professional. But if your stuff is not tight, I've seen people do it on Instagram all the time. I'm a professional concept artist, and their stuff looks you know, like old cheese. I don't know. That's the only thing I could come up with. And that's not to 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 shed on anybody's life, but it's just I don't know. It doesn't look ready. And I think that hurts your argument if you think that that's if that's your best foot forward, then just yeah, you could be dressed if you could be wearing a suit, but it could be a cheap cheesy suit you got you know from Walmart, and don't no, I guess that's not fair. You could dress a lot of things up, but I don't know. Maybe I'm saying the wrong thing there. But what I mean to say is that not everything, just because it's technically a comic book, doesn't mean it's a great comic. So yeah, I shouldn't even say that because some people can rock something really good, even if it's garbage. My son does a good job with that. He wears weird stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, that actually looks pretty good. Um, let's see. Art T Bear showed some of his Ultimate Spider-Man concept art. I'm guessing all those characters come from these type of sketch exercises. Kinda sketch. Let's be real, no matter how bad your art is, if you're super chat, he will read it. For the whole concept of saying they are bald on the show is ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous. The change in attitude after they went on John's show was amazing. They embarrassed themselves in their delusion. Hmm. I don't buy sketches. I don't buy art I don't like. Fair enough, and that's how it ought to be, I think. Um, I love high detail art. There you go. Listen, not everything high detail. I actually like less detail in my art. I don't like the guys that I follow the most are all guys that you guys wouldn't probably care for. I love Chris Somney, Evan Shaner. Um, I prefer that art. I don't even like my art that much sometimes because of that. Some of the stuff that I've done, I'm like, yeah, it's all right. I'm glad people like it, but I'm actually shooting for minimalism when I work in general. But sometimes it doesn't always come up like that. So yeah, I just think it's funny, man, that guy. got into that weird thing, and now it's like, um, uh, John was trying to help him. I think that is that what he showed up on when he was on John Maynard's show. Yeah, and again, man, I think it's cool that people have something to show and share, but I'm just saying that you know, it I think that's one of the dangers of the indie market is that anyone can, and because anyone can, sometimes not a danger, not really a danger. No, there's no, you're not losing anything if there's somebody produces something you don't care for. It's just that they themselves fall into a trap of putting themselves in a situation um, where they maybe they think more of themselves than they ought to, and then that's a damn shame because I think like I was looking at some of the stuff that he had me crying actually. Antonio was showing like he posted all this art, and there's something to be said about one of the things about inking, guys. Is a little thing you guys should know that the act of inking is frankly about making something look clear. It's about clarity. That's what inking is about. If your pencils are already noisy and then you're inking those pencils, you're supposed to try to make them more readable. Um, so you're not just kind of going crazy on the page. You're actually trying to. Oh, I think I'm losing. No, I need to add more lead to this and hopefully so I can use what's left. Um, you need to do stuff to enhance it, and I think the things you can do to enhance artwork that's over rendered is to white things out and clear it up. But the guy clearly is in love, and I said this when I first saw it because I actually saw things I liked, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this idea. But and they kept, I guess they were referencing. I don't know for sure. I probably shouldn't speak out of turn this way, but the impression I got was he was comparing himself to the um, early Judge Dredd art. But I gotta tell you, Judge Dredd even back then was still clear. It was noisy as hell because it's British comics, but it was clear. I don't remember all the artists from back then, but I remember I knew exactly what was going on. There's some stuff in that presentation on his Indiegogo campaign that is just not. He's not presenting it clearly enough. So hey, man, Godspeed, man. If you want to take that advice, if you move forward with a project that you wasn't listen to me, my terrible grammar, that you weren't really prepared to move forward on, then it's okay, I guess. But don't be upset if people don't care for it because what I was going to say earlier was that a lot of times dang it. Oh, just a little bit left. No. Oh well, I have to switch to a different tool, guys. Um, a lot of times when people, what was I saying? That one is regular gray lead. This is a fat 9 pencil. This isn't exactly my favorite pencil either, but it'll help me finish it off. Um, a lot of times people that don't, they might not know about the mechanics of comics, but they'll know when something's not right. They'll know enough to know that it wasn't right. And so I really do challenge you guys to check your work, and get some honest feedback and don't just listen to your wife or your husband or your partner or whatever, just or your best friend. They're going to always tell you that things look good. And hopefully if they really are good friends, they'll tell you when it looks bad so that you don't go out there and embarrass yourself. That's all. Carlos Esquera was sketchy but graphically sound. He styled Dread. Right on. There you go. There you go. Um, I do fan art. Some say it's great fan art, but I'm well aware I'm no panel artist. Well, there you go. I mean, it's drawing. Sequential art is a deep thing, man. So John Piner says I would be extremely grateful because he was trying to help them. Excuse me. Yep. It sounded like his wife pressures him into starting the campaign, then blamed Ethan when it didn't work out. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. And that's the downside is and the thought that came to my head was it's ironic. People act like first of all, Comicsgate is nothing if it's not mainly the you guys, the consumers. It's not us, the producers. It's you guys, the consumers. We are part of it because we produce the things that you guys are asking to be created. That said, uh, Comicsgate, if that's what you want to talk about, anything indie stuff is not public broadcasting. It's not PBS. It's not free. It's not public access, and you don't have a fair. I tell you guys this all the time. If if tomorrow, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd be upset if tomorrow YouTube would cancel my channel for whatever reason it deemed necessary to cancel my shows. But you know what? That's YouTube's prerogative. This is not a public forum. This is a private forum used used by the public, if that makes sense. So you can't be surprised when people, I mean, you can be surprised, I guess, but I'm not. you know, it's like when people were like, oh my gosh, such and such creators is this or that. I'm like, yeah, I already knew that. Um, so yeah, anyway, long story short, guys, instead of worrying about that, instead of taking a political stance on what you think your work's supposed to be, what you think it's supposed to be, just make sure it's excellent. I've always compared my stuff, whenever I'm thinking about producing anything, I always look at the stuff that I see as top notch on the shelf. And I say, does my stuff look like it can compete there? I mean, if you want to pick someone not so great and say, I want to compete against that guy, well, that's fine, but you're only competing for mediocrity. I would say, if you're really interested in becoming excellent, then don't compare yourself to the mediocre artists. Compare yourself to the great artists, and then see what you can learn from those great artists that made them great, or why are they so popular, and then follow in their footsteps, sort of. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Because Many says some people are too entitled. They think your time is theirs because you offered it. Very demanding. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And like I said, Antonio talks about this. I mean, I think the reason why I got onto Ethan's channel at all was because whether you may or may not agree with this assessment, but I think that my stuff is good. It's not great, but it's good. And um and maybe I'm oversimplifying that, but maybe I am great. I know that I need to work on stuff. But the point I'm making is that it makes a good impression. It's impactful. Let's put it that way. It's impactful. So take your impactful art and give it some more substance so that it's worth the time that you're asking people to spend their money on. That's all. That's how I see it. All right, so here is, I just kind of devoted a whole page to this creature. It's because you could tell I was more confused about how this guy was going to turn out than I was about some of the other stuff. But I do think that I have something here. I'll keep a question mark and a check mark to say I like it. Could it be different? Sure. I don't want to settle on this as the only way, but I do think I have some. So this pencil, this is erasable pencil lead, but it's got this weird like chalky. It's a 9. I couldn't find erasable lead that was 0.9 lead, and so does it erase? Let's see. See how it kind of goes on, little almost like charcoal, and it does erase, but I think it's because it's kind of like a weird powdery deal. I don't care for that one. I'm gonna have to find my blue leads. Oh wait, I did have them. Let me see. So what am I using for my blue? So it's not really erasable, I guess. This is what I'm using for my, what is that, 0.7? Let's see what I got here. Yeah, Pentel 0.7 blue lead. That's all it says. So I can go back to my other pencil. It doesn't erase as nice as I would love, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosy. And the idea is not to erase it indefinitely, but to make it work. Uh, Benjamin says your talent plus your personality is what makes you a fun guest on other people's streams and a great host here. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully, my talent is better than my personality. That reminds me of a Wolverine, a real one, not the ear. Yeah, the ear punching guy. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think when I first developed the Tiger Squirrel, it is kind of based on a Wolverine, so that's kind of cool. Use purple leg. What's up, Ikari? I was just talking about you, dog. Just talking about your channel this morning. I was going to call you, and I thought I'd do this real quick first. But yeah, man, I was enjoying your show thoroughly. Let's see. Robin says, I try and remember that grade is only 7 out of 10. I'm good at animation. That's only 6 out of 10. I'd like to be great. Or even get to excellent, 8 out of 10. Yeah, I guess whatever. Oh, because Manny says, I like him so far. He scares me. I think you should definitely roll with the design of this character. It's pretty solid. I think you're right too, man. I think you're right too. Yeah, I like him. This is just, now this is the form he takes after this form. So I'm going to darken up his. See how this lead flows a lot better. And those of you who are connoisseurs of that magazine, let me know about how to get into that. I like to get into that. Good to see how is Brand doing. I hope. Yeah, how is Brand doing, Antonio? Let everybody know. So. Yeah, I really think this goes back to a comment I made a while back about knowing when to self-edit. I think that's so important. Um, and then so that way, like I always make the fat jokes first so that I don't have to be insulted by people making stupid fat jokes, that kind of thing. Nolan says, unless you want to give it guns and pouches in the third cybernetic arm, wait, don't do that, any of that. Critias says, what's up, Critias? Is doing like a boss. Critias says, guess they're definitely doing well, less than 1,200 to 50K. Woo! Because Mary says, like a bus. I like the bus too. Oh, fun, fun, fun. Hey guys, if you are in the chat and you are enjoying the content today, please, by all means, hit the like button and share it too. If you guys think it's good enough to share with some people and get them interested, if you have a crowd at all on Twitter, share it on Twitter or Facebook, what have you. It's always gravy in Funky Town, USA. Um, So yeah, anyway, so yeah, I think when you self-edit, you don't need people to tell you if it's good or not. You're already doing that all the time. Now, if you just want people's attention, then by all means, but that's the problem there is that the individual wanted attention, they didn't get the attention they wanted, and so now they got to deal with the, as they say, mess with the bull, you get the horns. Kodiak says, what is Comics? I've heard you mention it and thought it had to do with that Marvel politically correct thing. Now it seems like you're talking about some kind of company or something. Well, that's the problem, Kodiak. It's not a company. It's not at all. That is exactly the point. It is just the politically correct thing. And it's our response to that politically correct thing. And everybody wants to be down with the politically correct thing because, or the not politically correct thing, because they think it's about this money here. And there is money. And this crowd does want to support projects that are like this, but they want to support good projects. They don't want to support poor projects. And now, like I've said before, I have to also admit that to some people, what some people like, um, other people don't like, and that's okay. And when some people don't like, other people love. So, hey, more power to you. So don't listen to me if you're doing great already. But if you're curious as to why people don't like your thing, it could be because you're not tight yet. That's all. That's really kind of what it boils down to. You're not tight yet. You thought you were tight, but you're really not. So you deceive yourself, if you will, and then you want to hold someone else accountable to that deception and say, oh, it's their fault. No, 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 no. I'm going into my. Oh no. There we go. Sorry for my zipper sounds, but that's why I want to go ahead and just black this out because it's bothering the tar out of me. It looks like it's sunglasses. This is this guy's. Well, I'm still broke, and but we tried stuff, and the black and red thing went well. But there's some challenges there too. Some of the people that ordered from overseas don't realize how much that costs. That is an expensive bill to pay. In fact, I've actually lost money on some of my books, my black and red books, um, on several occasions, more than several. Um, I had I had my books sold for, was it $15? Was or $10 with shipping, something like that, and I ended up paying 25 to ship. So if you do the math, I did not earn any money on that sale, and that was about 10% of all my sales were, or my books sold went overseas. So again, don't be mad down the road, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right. Okay, I see somebody say you're not feeling good, Craig. I'm sorry, man. So I like what I got here so far. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this guy. I think he's looking cool. Ah, I grabbed the wrong pencil. Where'd my pencil go? Where'd my pencil go? Here we go. See, the problem with this pencil though, it doesn't erase very well, but erases enough. You just got to deal with the overall stuff. Yeah, we only charged $5 for shipping in general. We made a mistake and sold some overseas. We didn't intend to. Because of that, we anticipated there being a challenge. I think selling stuff to Australia cost me about 25 bucks. Um, that's just shipping. That's just shipping. And my book is a small ash can size art book, sketchbook, convention book. And hey, it is what it is. But hey, what are you gonna do? It's very light, is what I'm trying to say. It's under a pound. But I think the price of shipping starts at a pound or up to 9 ounces or something like that. So yeah, a little nervous about some of that. It's for future campaigns. And a lot of people are like, hey, man, you're neglecting us over people overseas. It's not that, is that it's very pricey. So call it what you will. All right, so this is the tiger squirrel's beast form. I think that's what we're going to call him. In the earlier stories I've had called him Zeus, and this is why he's called Zeus. Zeus is a kind of a big name for such a small critter. I think they'll change their mind after this. Roar. Roar. Where are we at now? We're at 70 minutes. I've been on longer than I should have been. All right, kids. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thanks for checking out my secret stuff for my new project that I'm working on. Let's see when we read some last comments here. Yeah, but the Indiegogo algorithm says sketch that is mislabeling Puerto Rico's zip code as international. You can't change the algorithm; it's their fault. I can't get them on the phone though. Oh, you know, John says, I like the you like the whole story now. Get Detective Crimson Moon by Critias. Yes, please check out that link in the chat. 3D Robin says, that's a shame. We also get hit by import tax and have to go to the post office to collect. The value is over 15 bucks. Oh, gosh. Like and sub, says John Piner, and I do agree. If you do like the content you guys have been watching here, please hit that like button. I really appreciate that. Also, subscribe so you can see more stuff like this. Unless you're 3D Robin and you don't care for the sketch. I'm just kidding. 3D, come on. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Be safe. Right on. Because May says, thank you for the sneak peek in the stream. Right on. Grace, thank you, John. I appreciate that. And Uncanny Kodiak. Elliot, what was the issues you did for DC? I did Harley Quinn Power Girl number, I think I want to say it's 2, 3, 4, and 6. I worked on several pages. If you added them all up, it was like one issue's worth. Critias laugh out loud and 3 Robin laugh out loud. Indeed, indeed. All right, kids. And by the way, Uncanny, it's terrible. Those pages were rushed, and I did a terrible job. It's not a reflection. As you can see, there won't be a reflection of this stuff. So yeah, there you go. All right, kids, you guys be good. You take care. You keep each other accountable and love each other and show kindness toward each other, and we're gonna be all right. We're gonna get through this thing called life. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me in the stream. And I hope that you guys will have a wonderful day and we'll have a blessed day, a blessed time in preparing for all kinds of stuff. Have a great time. We'll talk later. Bye.